We begin our tale within the infinite and vast reaches of the space that exists between planes. Different cultures and worlds have different names for this place. The denizens of Dominaria and Ravnica call it the Blind Eternities, and rumors speak of titanic monstrosities that lurk within. During the Fourth Great Age of Faerun, the prevailing thought that this space was shaped much like a giant tree, sometimes named Yggdrasil, with the prime material plane acting as its trunk and the outer planes aligned along its branches. The elves of Middle-earth believe in a space outside the world called Avakuma, which is said to be a prison for the most powerful and dangerous entities. However, most commonly, throughout all worlds, it is simply known as the Astral Sea, a vast and infinite space that exists between all other planes. The rules of reality vary greatly within this plane, and only a few entities and civilizations call it home. One such entity stands on a broken rock precipice, a human-like figure clad in heavy obsidian armor. Oh my god. I should actually do all the things that I planned. Okay, that was the first one. That's Astral Sea. There's a figure. Okay. Clad in heavy obsidian armor. In the distance floats an ominous citadel. This structure exists as a monument to itself, and even from this distance, its sharp mechanical angles are prevalent. At its zenith burns a purple orb that gazes into and through all of time and space, as if searching and overseeing all. The figure stands in opposition to that light, and as bright as the stone they stand on is, the light does not seem to touch the ebon sheen of their armor. With a determined motion, the figure unsheaths a black void of a blade, and with a single, swift motion, cuts through the fabric of the Astral Sea and steps into nothingness. But that is not where we begin our tale. We must first travel to a different plane. The plane of Exandria is one of the newer planes to grace the multiverse, but it is by no means the least storied. The plane is surrounded by the Divine Gate, a barrier that separates divine beings, both good and evil, from directly influencing the prime material. The plane is in its fourth age, the post-divergence era, following the creation of the Divine Gate. Without the gods directly meddling in the affairs of the plane, the post-divergence era is marked by a rise of mortal legends. The plane has been molded and scarred by these legends. The Cinder King, an ancient red dragon infused and corrupted by the wild magics of the elemental plane of fire, laid waste to the continent of Taldore. The scar from his escape still burns in the village of Pyra to this day. The would-be pretender, the Whispered One, lay siege to the holy city of Vasselheim in an attempt to gain divinity. Each of these threats was answered, not by the gods of the plane, but by mortal men and women, heroes who answered the call and sacrificed everything to do what was right. This brings us to the year 837 PD, 26 years after the siege of Vasselheim, where a young half-orc and a member of the Tempest Blades awakes. Dahlia. You hear at your door a soft but urgent knocking.
That glorious morning. Okay. Go and answer the door.
Sure. As you answer the door, you sort of swing it open, and standing there is a short halfling, clad in green armor with leaf motifs. You know him. He is a fellow member of the Tempest Blades named Orem. Dahlia,
Kinda early.
hey. No, I'm so sorry to do this, but Derek took some of the other blades out on a scouting mission, and we are going to have a unplanned visitor today, and so we could use some help on just basically keeping guard.
That's what I do. Who's this mysterious visitor?
Less mysterious, just important. Come on.
Are they here for the Tempest?
He sort of chuckles. Come on.
Okay.
So he walks you out into
Grab my axe as I go.
the village of Zephra, a mountainside druid settlement that has really been flourishing over the last decade or so. It has grown from what was a small collection of huts and houses to a real home, a real town. And Orem sort of walks you out, and you can see he's, like most days, clad in his like full, ready for anything sort of gear. And he walks you over to a large tree that sort of sits off to the side of the central like meeting area. He sort of turns back and sort of looks up to the sky. She should be here soon. And no sooner does he say that than the center of the tree opens into this green swirling void. And walking through is a older half-elven woman. A resplendent visage with a flowing mantle made of autumn-colored leaves, an antler-like crown atop her head, and this bright red hair flowing down. She looks, at this point, in her mid-30s, even though you know she is much older. You look upon the voice of the Tempest, the leader of this small village, and one of the storied heroes of old, quote unquote. And as she walks through the tree into her home village, you can see there's a small gathering sort of awaiting her. Dignitaries of the village and sort of the elders. And you can see they all sort of kneel down as she enters.
I kneel as well and say Kayate Tempest.
She nods her head and looks to Orem. You can see on sort of the other side of this clearing is Will, who is one of your fellow guards. He is sort of like flanking the tree with you and Orem on the other side. And she sort of nods to Will and begins her sort of rounds talking to the bullshit diplomacy that you have to do when you are the leader of such a group. And Orem sort of turns to you. We don't have to do much today, just keep an eye out for anything suspicious. But realistically, we're home. But precautions still have to be taken, right?
Would hate for anything to happen to her or this place.
I mean, we keep a pretty good watch, and I mean we've got the rest of the blades that are they do sweeps every fortnight or so, and so you know they'll let us know if there is anything they see anything that isn't right. And as the voice makes her way through the village, coming to the other side, you can see this like centering that she does, and she sort of turns to Will. Um, Will, I think I'd like to go to the Overlook if you guys don't mind. And he sort of does a motion across to Orem, and come on, Dahlia, we better go ahead and get going. And they lead you through the main square, up one of the sort of back paths of the village. Up in it's this winding sort of path that leads you all up. 1 second. Uh, 1 second, sorry. Gotta love tech issues. One more second. Sorry. Um, but yeah, it's a sort of a winding path that leads you up through the village and out to an outcropping that sort of overlooks the village. And as you arrive at this outcropping, you can see it's got this glorious view of the forest underneath, with a singular red leafed tree sort of on the edge, looking over the horizon. And the voice sort of looks to you. I know it's not the most important duty, but it brings me peace to come up here and see what all this is for. So thank you. Well, both nod. And I don't know if she sort of looks to Orem and Will. Have we met?
Only in passing, Tempest. I'm a newer blade, so I haven't been around this long, but I'm honored to be part of this. I grew up in the village, but you were off doing your own thing when that was happening, and I was in Pyra when that went down.
She sort of like has this like pause. Oh, I'm sorry.
Appreciated, but it's in the past, so we keep looking ahead, right? What my mother always says.
Yeah, looking ahead. She sort of gives you like doesn't give you a look, but sort of looks to the side briefly. And she sort of nods to the three of you as she moves towards the edge of the cliff, towards the pink tree. Orm sort of looks to you. The voice usually will be here for a little while.
Is this the tree where the bird comes?
I don't know that I've ever seen it, but she's always here waiting for something.
Can't imagine what that's like.
And you can see she's sort of like gazing off into the distance. Not quite meditating, but deep in thought and memory. So you guys sort of fan around. But we're in a good position, but we still need to be keeping a lookout. We are here for a job at the very least, right, guys?
Above all else. Why do I have to have the first roll of the game? God damn it.
No pressure.
No pressure.
No pressure. Oh, that's a
It's
good one.
okay. I see some people with lower rolls than you on the screen.
So, yeah, so for the next 20, 30 minutes or so, you listen to the wind blow through the leaves, rustle the forest below. You see the voice sort of looking longingly into the distance, but nothing comes. And after a while, she sort of nods her head and begins making her way back to you. I think we're done for the time being. If we want to make our way back to the village, we can see about setting up for, I think they have some feast or some such plan tonight. Hopefully there's wine, but if not, then we'll make do. And as she sort of approaches you, you can see that the shadows that are being cast by the trees, the rocks, and the voice herself begin deepening strangely, darkening, solidifying, and
Tempest.
With a start, the shadows all around you erupt into shadowy figures. Born of the shadow, like wraiths coming from the darkness.
Oh, man.
Damn.
A lot of them.
I clicked the button too many times, but okay. Not this many. I just click. It does 5, and so I clicked one too many times. But yes, wraiths coming from the shadows. with long curved blades as they leap out to strike. But with shadow comes darkness. And your vision suddenly goes black as you can hear around you the clashing of blades. You can hear Orym screaming. You can hear the Tempest, her voice ringing out brighter than anything else, calling for all of you. What do you do? Around you, you sense these assassins circling you, their blades trying to find purchase.
I would like to rage.
Duly noted. You have thus raged.
And how, I don't know how close they are, like,
Narrative.
grouped together around me.
This is superhero narrative. You're fine.
Okay, well, I would cleave. I would want to cleave and try to knock as many of them down as I can.
Right. Yeah. So as you do, you, with a wide sweep, you fell to making distance from the others that harry you. You can hear soft footsteps as they make chase. But above that, you hear the voice of the Tempest. You hear her voice chanting. And as she finishes, you hear as her staff pierces the ground and emanating from her brilliant light, dispelling the darkness around. Rising up from the ground, giant thorny vines grip her would-be assailants into the air, crushing them with the fury of the Archdruid. But importantly, you look to your left. You see Will, beset, his arms held back as assassins bear down on him, knives poised to strike. What do you do?
Start charging towards him to help him, and as I'm running, can I produce flame at one of them, or like a small little flame ball at them?
Of course, yeah. And so, as you do, your burning rage, your elemental heritage take form, igniting one of the would-be assassins with the blade as right before he strikes true. Your axe cleaves the other two to his side. Will, reaching to the ground with his shield, crashes against the skull of the others. And as you sort of like reach down to pull him up, you hear. And as you turn, you see the voice of the Tempest with a shadowy sword plunged through her back, protruding out the front, its vile toxin eating away at her flesh, burning as the light leaves her eyes. Now, we move to Sorry. Tech issues. Okay.
You're doing great.
I'm juggling a lot.
Oh, it's okay. I just got a alarm call from work, so.
Oh, are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, it was a false alarm.
Okay. The Plain of Ravnica is a worldwide cityscape, a metropolis inhabited and controlled by members of one of 10 guilds. Each guild embodies a unique combination of the 5 aspects of magic: white, blue, black, red, and green. Each answers to the authority of the Guild Pact, a magically bound contract that unites the 10 guilds. The laws of the plane are drafted by the bureaucrats of the Azorius Syndicate and are enforced with the help of the Boros Legion and the Silencia Conclave. Among the ranks of the Azorius are law mages, spellcasters who refrain malefactors and protect bystanders, arresters, martial warriors who maintain peace, and precognitive mages who glimpse the future and often prevent crime before it comes to pass. This decorum has existed for millennia. However, recent events have set the city on a path to destruction. A group of planeswalking mages, the so-called Gatewatch, has arrived in the city and begun summoning powerful allies in preparation for an invasion. The Elder Dragon Nicol Bolas plans to invade the plane with his Dread Horde army. His arrival destroyed the Gate Pact, along with the magical ley lines that gave it its power. As the city descends into battle and chaos, we find ourselves with a lone Vidalcan who has glimpsed the events to come. Pendrick, go ahead and describe yourself. I forgot to do this with Dahlia, but we'll get back to that. Pendrick, go ahead and describe yourself.
Yeah. Pendrick is what's known as a Vidalcan. They are tall, slender, blue creatures, slightly amphibious. Some have visible gills, some don't. And most notably, they have 6 fingers on each hand. They're very reserved, graceful, not known for outbursts of any kind, really. And yeah, as you can see, bald, big ears, and a couple earrings.
Blue.
Blue, mostly.
And Pendrick, you have been having visions since before these planeswalkers, so-called planeswalkers, began entering the city. You've known one, actually, Jace Beleren, the living guild pact, as it were. And you've been having visions of a man, large and strong, clad in plate and shining armor. And you see his death. You're not certain exactly who this man is, but you can sense this righteousness and goodness from him. And over the last few days, as the city has been beset by these blue eternal zombies, you start feeling yourself pulled, knowing that he's the key, and you need to do something about it. This investigation leads you to one of the Boros's stables. You know, this is typically where they house their Pegasi and other winged mounts, most of which are out at battle. But you're able to make your way in. And as you arrive in this small stable room, with his back towards you is this enormous human, massive by orc standards. This long black hair, plate armor, and on his side, an enormous longsword, and attached to his arm, this strange tendrilled weapon. But as you enter, you can see he sort of turns, catching a glance out of you from the corner of his eye, and he swings around, bearing his weapon to you.
Is he swinging at me or just bearing it?
He's like, it looks like he was about to,
And then he
and
stopped.
as soon as he like actually saw you, he stopped.
Okay. Whoa, sir, sorry. Excuse me. I believe I've been looking for you. I believe I've seen you. You are
No,
important to what's happening here.
No, my apologies. I thought you were something else for a second. Thought you were one of the Dread
Them?
Horde. Yes.
Oh, I understand.
But you said you've been looking for me. What do you mean by
I've-
this?
I've seen you as I've gazed into the futures untold, unwritten as of yet, and you keep coming over and over again into my mind, and I feel pulled to this moment, and in this dire hour, I believe you are the key to saving us all, but I don't know how.
He sort of chuckles. I wish it wasn't always the case, but that does seem to be what happens.
You don't
When
seem
you're-
surprised.
This isn't the first end of the world that I've been privy to, we'll put it that way.
My eyes will get wide at that statement.
Not this world, but others.
I'll start putting two and two together. It's like, so you must know Jace then. You must be one of his friends.
For better or worse, yes. We've traveled together for years now at this point. He's the brains, and he sort of slams his chest. And when he does, you can see that there's this like yellow energy that like flares up as he like hits his chest. And I'm the brawn. He likes to remind me of that nearly every day.
That does not surprise me. But what does surprise me is your demeanor. You seem sullen, like you're beginning to lose hope.
Well, we have a weapon, but who's to say if that'll be enough? He sort of reaches down. The Black Blade is said to be the one weapon that can kill him, and I mean to try. Bolus might look like a dragon that you're familiar with on Ravnica, but where he's from, he's that and more. Dominaria used to have gods that walked the earth. And he was one of them. Some say he was the worst. But this blade is of that, is of Dominaria. And if anything can do it, it can. And I've got to be the one that does it.
What can I do to help? As small as I am in this grand scheme, I feel like I'm here for a reason.
Getting to Bolus might be impossible, but if it is possible, surely his general will be there too. The necromancer Liliana Vess. She was once an ally, but now she leads his army of zombies against us, against all of us. Not just Ravnica, not just the Gatewatch, but the multiverse itself. If we don't stop him here, he will be more powerful than anyone can ever stop again. And while I need to fight Bolus, I need Liliana not to be a part of that.
I understand. You could count on me, sir. I don't think I got your name yet.
Oh, my apologies. Gideon. Gideon Jura. Of Theros. A term you have never heard before, Theros. Well,
Yeah, go ahead.
Have you ever flown on a Pegasus before?
It was part of basic training to become a law mage, but I only did it the one time I had to.
Understandable.
Not a fan of flying, if I have to say so, but
Understandable. Well, there's always a second time. Come on. And he sort of pats you on the back with a hand heavier than you think is normal.
I'll take a large step forward as I compensate. Yeah, I'll hop on. Should I ride in front of you or behind you or what's?
In the back. It's fine.
Okay.
And you all mount a very large, bright white Pegasus. And you take off. As you fly through the city, a city that a plane you have called home for your entire life, you see the beginnings of destruction, the beginnings of ruin. You see smoke billowing from citadels. You see, as you pass streets, you see hordes of this roiling blue mass of bodies marching. You hear the din of death. As you move towards the citadel, the place that Bolus has taken up residence, standing atop this monument to his power. You find Gideon. Make your way. And you can see, looking down to the streets below, hordes of these blue Eternals, these blue abominations that this necromancer commands. And you see a lone figure in the center. A purple and black force holding her hand, emanating dread
Oh man.
and energy.
I just zoomed
You
out and
can
saw a lot more things.
Yeah. Zoom out. This map's big. You see atop the citadel, at its head, the elder dragon, Nicole Bolas. The elder god of Dominaria.
All right. Oh no.
So, your gaze upon this army below and the dragon in your fore. You don't
Through the
see
den
it.
of death, I can't see very much.
You don't see, but at the last moment, you have a vision, a blinding white arrow launching from across the city into your steed. Instantly, your firm seat becomes less firm.
This is what
As
I
it
was
does,
afraid of.
you see Gideon launching from the remains of the beast, sword drawn in a last glorious attempt at at victory.
I fall
As
ungracefully towards the ground.
you do, and as you land hard, your vision darkening and blurring, you see Gideon's strike land, and you see the black blade, the ancient blade of Dominaria, shatter. With a mighty backhand, the dragon launches Gideon off, landing hard in the street, his impact cushioned by this yellow energy that seems to surround him like a force field. You see, he looks up, shouting at Liliana. And she turns to her once ally. As she looks down at his slightly defeated form, she looks up to the great dragon. As you move closer, you see these lined tattoos on her body start to glow orange and burn. What do you do? As she reaches, as Gideon reaches towards her.
I'm gonna use the strength that I have left to try to reach into her mind and squeeze as hard as I can and use Mind Spike.
Okay. As
My hand reaching out.
Gideon just briefly gets to her, grabbing at her, you can see he's shouting, "No!" And as those tattoos burn, you can see momentarily as Gideon's magic sort of envelops them, trying to draw its energy in. But your spell breaks Liliana's concentration, falling back as her tattoos and her contract burns through her soul,
Uh-oh.
reducing her to ash.
I'll look at Gideon.
No, you won't.
Oh no!
See into
That
that
didn't
scene?
seem like it was the right thing to do.
Oh, listen.
He told me to help with her, and I helped.
You did. Thank you. Now, let me set up my next 5 things I have to do.
um. Oops.
What happened, John?
I mean, I know it's supposed to happen.
You're right. So did Cher. All right.
Sitting
Are you
over
guys-
here right now, like, oh.
Next. The plane of Arda is perhaps the eldest plane of the multiverse. Some believe it to be the prototype through which all other planes were created. While
I
few
have
know
just
the...
a black screen.
Huh?
I have just
Oh.
a black screen.
Thank you.
Good call
Same.
out.
I thought it was just a mystery, though.
No. Can you see there? Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. I can also do this. So, the plane of Arda is perhaps the eldest plane of the multiverse. Some believe it is the prototype through which all other planes were created, while few know the proper name of the plane. Most recognize it by its most prominent continent, Middle Earth. Middle Earth is a realm of ancient magic and deep history. It's the home to the races of men, elves, dwarves, hobbits, and many more. For millennia, Middle Earth has known peace, but now, recent events have set the realm on the brink of war. In the shadowed land of Mordor, Sauron, the Dark Lord, has returned, and his forces gather to sweep across the lands. Orcs, Easterlings, and Southrons march under his banner, and his eye searches unceasingly for the One Ring, a relic of unimaginable power that holds the key to his dominion. This artifact has fallen into the hands of an unlikely hero, a hobbit from the Shire. Guided by the Grey Wizard, they make their way east, pursued at every turn by the forces of the Dark Lord. Eventually, they reach the elven settlement of Rivendell, a stronghold founded by a half-elven ruler. Emissaries from the various races of men, elves, and dwarves converge here to forge a plan to deal with Sauron and the Ring once and for all. As the first rays of sunlight pierce the cool mist, we look upon a half-elven bard as he makes his way into the day to come. Emrys, if you want to go ahead and describe what your character looks like.
Yeah, so he's, average height for about an elf. He looks classically like a wood elf. Brownish hair. They can always go from like blonde to red to brown, depending on like their Sindarian roots. But the things that kind of point out that he's half human is his rosy cheeks and the kinkiness of his curls and everything. He's a delightful ray of sunshine. He just loves talking to people. If he was a tarot card, he would be the Fool. That's how he approaches people, very open and sure. And he almost is always either tinkering on his lute or blowing on his flute.
And with that, it's almost barely dawn, and you find yourself making your way towards one of the hot springs that is said to be a very delightful early morning respite. And sort of as you open the sort of entryway into this area, you can see this like multi-tiered hot spring full of warm steam. But you're not alone. Sitting on one of the upper tiers, you see a blonde elven gentleman. Sort of basking in the early morning, trying to gather his strength for the day to come. Ah, well met.
Good morning. This is
It's
Legolas
a-
for sure, right? Yeah, just making sure, because he would be my elvish princeling, and Emerus would probably like bow his head because it's Legolas, of course.
It's been a long road getting here, but I'm glad to have found a bit of warmth in this cool morning.
By Iru's grace, we have this wonderful weather, and it's wonderful to see a face from home.
Of course. Come. The water is warm and plentiful. I don't think the rest of the denizens here wake quite so early.
Yeah, I was surprised to see you here. I was just planning on tinkering with some of my instruments. Would you like me to just play you something while you rest?
Nothing would delight me more than an early morning ballad or story. Take my mind off of the trials that are surely to come.
Trials? You're here for like a specific reason?
There's meant to be a council of sorts that I'm meant to attend. Elrond was quite particular that I be here. So we'll see what he is deemed of utmost importance, I believe later this afternoon.
Is there
Or later
like
today, I'm not sure.
Yeah, is there like a specific place, maybe? Emerus is definitely trying to like get in and get that hot goss right now.
I suppose they'll probably do it on the terrace out front. I don't know. It depends. I mean, it certainly depends on the number of people that attend and their particular inklings, what have you. I know. I think I saw horses into the stables, so presumably some of the Gondorians will be here as well. So I don't know.
Do you know of like anybody else that's coming? Any other whisperings?
By truth, I've only arrived within the last hour or so. We had some troubles making our way here, and so I decided to take a quick rest here instead of trying to get restless sleep before the day to come.
That makes sense. Well, let me stop asking you any questions and let me just play you a soft little ballad. And he's gonna pull his lute from like behind his back and just.
A kind friend is always welcome.
He's just gonna
He
bow
sort
his
of
head.
smiles at you.
Yeah.
What song do you play?
Great question. The first like beat that came into my head is dun dun dun, but that is not a good song. So probably just like some light pickings, just like going through scales.
Okay.
Nothing like super recognizable, except he would probably be like, he's just playing me some scales.
Freeform hyperlucidic jazz, yo.
I thought you were just gonna say some like real dirty skank shit, like real grunge shit. That would be great. But
Bodies
but
hit the
yeah.
floor.
Those are a bunch
Yeah.
of words.
Nico
alright.
slumber party, baby.
I don't know how to describe music.
Wah!
This are a bunch of
Mhm.
words.
It's
Not to
okay.
the
It's not
prince.
something I expect from you.
But yeah, so he very much seems appreciative of music from his homeland. And even if it's just faint whispers of songs that he knew or knows, it's appreciated. And yeah, so you play for. How long do you play?
I would say like 10 to 15 minutes before I like kind of check in and see how he's feeling. And if he's done, I'm gonna walk away.
No, you don't have to stop on my accord. Like I said, I have nowhere in the world I'd rather be than in this hot spring right now. Well, that's not true, but there's nowhere else in Rivendell that I would like to be except this hot spring right now.
Okay, I can keep playing if that's what you would like.
Whatever brings you peace.
So kind of you. He's just gonna keep playing. Maybe
And
like
so-
start to play like more familiar tunes, like talk about like poems in between that like connect to Markwood and everything, like the
Okay.
spiders, and like trying to see if he can kind of get a little bit more on his good side.
Okay. And so possibly about, let's say 45 minutes, an hour pass. The sun rises, burning off the early morning fog. And, and I'm sorry, we got so distracted with pleasantries, we forgot to introductions.
My name is Emerus Woodheart.
Legolas.
I know.
He sort of chuckles. Yeah, the one gave me away.
You being, I've seen you a couple of times before. My mom used to travel to your palace to sell her wares every now and then.
Oh,
So
what did she
you're
sell?
familiar to me. She used to trap just small animals and make furs.
Oh. I'm sure that one of my chambers is adorned with such a fur, if that is the case.
So kind of you.
But the sun draws high now, and unfortunately the burdens of light draw upon us. So I do need to take my leave at this juncture.
I understand, and I wish you well. And maybe we can catch up again, maybe after your meeting?
I think I would like that. I don't know how long I'll be in the city, but if I am here for any amount of time, I'd welcome it.
Thank you. And I will look out for you later on today.
He smiles. And as he's sort of getting his stuff together, putting on his tunic, and you're, sort of kind of playing him out. Let's get performance check.
Oh, yay.
Are you trying to woo Legolas?
Just trying to woo him.
Yeah. I think Emrys would be just like, oh no, if I fuck this up, I'm doomed back
But
home.
but what about Craig? You can't forget Craig loves you.
Oh, God.
Now, as he gets his tunic together, everything, and you're sort of strumming, playing beautifully. He starts walking kind of around the edge of the hot springs, and you have this like sudden inspiration. This like ancient like elven like ditty, like you would like play it like a dance or whatever. And you start strumming up like the first like 2 or 3 chords that like really distinct like like and as you do, he sort of like cocks his head over to you and smiles, and he sort of gives you like he does one of the like jump up and like sideways click his heels sort of thing that you do at dances, right? um and as he does, that legendary elfin agility fails, and he slips, coming down hard and cracking his head against one of the rocks to the side of the hot spring. Out fucking cold.
Oh no.
Run away. Pretend it didn't happen. You weren't there.
Yeah, you were there.
Oh, everybody's asleep. Run away.
You run over. You
Pick his pockets
start
first.
checking him out. He's alive. He's just out fucking cold.
Okay, at least
Stone
Quick,
cold.
give him mouth to mouth.
Oh my god. I think that would be his first reaction, would be to almost like see if he needs to give him mouth to mouth, because he's just like, oh my god.
Quick, get
And-
something you can freeze.
You hear at the door a knock. I don't think you can hear me tapping my mic, but you hear it. We need the council's about to begin. We need the elven emissary. I was told he came to the hot springs. I believe they're about to start. Please, if you can hurry.
He ain't waking up, is he? He's
Negative.
what would I think no, he's just gonna start screaming for help at the top of his lungs. He doesn't care what it looks like when people come in here. This is it. He's panicking. The council, what? Help. Oh my gods, help me.
And sort
Please.
of as you do, the door sort of opens, and this like shorter, sort of elderly like half elven gentleman walks in. Are you okay, sir?
Me? Why are you asking me? Him. You need him. He's not okay.
He sort of looks. Oh my goodness. What happened?
He was dancing, having a great time. He slipped, and now he's not having a good time. So,
Okay. But the council's about to begin. We need the emissary from Mirkwood to attend. It's of utmost importance. He's sort of looking to you.
he's gonna look between Legolas on his lap and this person probably like 4 or 5 times before he's like, can you take care of him while I be the de facto emissary? Maybe.
Yeah, yes, I'll see to him. I can take him to our healers, and we can make sure he's okay.
Okay. If you can do that for me, that would be great. Where do I need to go?
So yeah, go up towards the falls, and then across the bridges, and you will end up here.
People. Right, perfect. I do. So I immediately go. I'm talking to myself and I'm like, I'm just a note taker. I'm not doing anything risky right now. I'm just there to take notes.
I thought I saw Harry Potter instead of Bilbo Baggins for a second. And I was like, wow, it's getting out of hand here.
And yeah, so as you approach, you see a bunch of people that you don't know. You see elves and humans and hobbits and dwarves, and they're all sort of in the circle. And sort of as you approach Elrond, the half-elven leader of this village, sort of motions to you. Yes, and our emissary from the Mirkwood, I presume.
Yes, Lord Elrond.
Wonderful. If you will take your place, we have much to discuss. And he sort of
Oh, that's it.
becomes presentory. Strangers from distant lands, friends of old, you have been summoned here to answer the threat of Mordor. Middle-earth stands upon the brink of destruction. None can escape it. You will unite or you will fall. Each race is bound to this fate, this one doom. He sort of gestures to the central pedestal there. Bring forth the ring, Frodo. And you can see one of the hobbits sort of timidly walks up and gingerly sets down this golden ring on the pedestal as he moves back. You can see to your right the wizard, in tall hat, clad in gray, begins chanting. One ring to rule them all. One ring to find them. One ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them. The ring is evil. You see across from you one of the humans with shorter hair pipes up. It is a gift to the foes of Mordor. Why not use this ring? Long has my father, the steward of Gondor, kept the forces of Mordor at bay. By the blood of all our people are the lands kept safe. Give Gondor the weapon of the enemy. Let us use it against him. The human to his right. You cannot wield it. None of us can. The One Ring answers to Sauron alone. It has no other master. The wizard. Aragorn is right. We cannot use it. Elrond. You have only one choice. The ring must be destroyed. The ring was made in the fires of Mount Doom. Only there can it be unmade. It must be taken deep into Mordor and cast back into the fiery chasm from whence it came. And the human, the Gondorian that spoke up before with short hair. One does not simply walk into Mordor. Its black gates are guarded by more than just orcs. There's evil there that does not sleep, and the Great Eye is ever watchful. It's a barren wasteland, riddled with fire and ash and dust. The very air you breathe is a poisonous fume. Not 10,000 men could you do this. It is folly. And Gandalf pipes up. Well, not 10,000 men, but perhaps just 7. 6. I can count. The 6 of us can travel lighter than 10,000. We can avoid the watchful eye and make our way to Mount Doom. Mount Doom? Is that the place? Yeah? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the place.
Yeah.
We're doing
Yes,
so
where
good.
Dr. Doom lives.
You're doing fantastic.
and Elrond. And who among you should bear the burden of carrying the ring? As everyone sort of looks around.
Nope.
Gandalf sort of pipes up. The burden should be bared by the swiftest among us. The one who can walk through the forest without trace. The one who can outrun the elks that they hunt. Our Mirkwood emissary should be who carries the ring.
Me? I think I am pretty corruptible. I'm not gonna lie to you, my friend. Everything that Sauron touches either it gets tortured into turning evil, it's already evil, or it gets corrupted. I'm pretty corruptible. I do not think I am the right man for this job. I'm just here to take some notes.
The fact that you know your weaknesses only proves that you are the one that can complete this task. Step forward. All their eyes are sort of on you.
I think he's gonna point at Bebo. Not Bebo. Fucking Bilbo.
Hello?
He's
Bebo.
Bebo
And-
is their other D&D character that
My
she
first
played
bard.
before.
And Gandalf looks towards you. I will help you bear this
Uh,
burden, as long as it is yours to bear.
But what about not Bilbo? I meant Frodo. I was like, what about him? He's carried it for a while. I think
The
he
human
looks pretty
across the
trustworthy.
way with long hair. If by my life or death I can protect
No.
you, I will. You have my sword. As he clangs it down in front of you. The dwarf behind you. And my axe!
Oh, he's just getting more and more stressed out. He's like, no, we just slow down.
The other human, Boromir. You carry the fate of us all. If this is indeed the will of the council, then Gondor will see it done. And as everyone sort of converges, Elrond. 6 companions. So be it. You shall be the Fellowship of the Ring.
Just quiet, like sobbing as he just.
And as you
Slowly
reach
accepts.
down to slowly accept the one ring of power. We're going to move on to the next.
Oh,
Can I take a 2-minute break?
Yeah, I was going to say, this is a good place for a quick bathroom break.
Yeah.
Be swift.
Who's
As
next?
Rachel goes and like screams into a pillow.
Who's
Hey.
next?
I think you're next.
I'm next.
No,
Am
Don't
I
say that.
next?
I
Well,
didn't say that.
Rufio said, "I think you're next."
Oh, I didn't say that.
I'm
Though.
guessing.
It's
Okay,
it's one of
I
you
just-
two.
I'm just trying
Yeah.
to. I don't know how prepared I need to be.
No,
Do you
yeah,
think
there's
she
only
was
2 of
prepared
us
for that?
left.
Do you
Do
think
I need
any
to
of these
pee?
3? Yeah, go pee.
I'm
Like,
not prepared.
yeah,
Careful
nobody's
with it.
prepared. That's the fucking gimmick of this session.
Yeah.
Did you know?
Oh yeah, I lied to you.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
All right. be
Love
right
you.
back.
Wow. I'm enjoying myself. How about you?
I am. I'm having a good time. But I literally messaged him the other day to I was like, oh, we never discussed what time in Exandria. And I
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
but I'm thinking end of campaign 2.
Right.
And he
Not a bad
was
one.
like, And he was like, I picked 1837, and I literally said, ... Is this before or after Keyleth gets attacked? And he was like, what? Totally played it off like he had no idea what I was talking about. Asshole.
So I bought an entire case of mouse pads, and I don't know why.
Do you go through mouse pads? Like,
Well, there's the big mouse pads though. They're like the full, like the big long desk mouse pads,
yeah, Ricky's got one of those.
and they look kind of decent. I only see like the top picture of one. I had to bid on it online. So I have a case of them. I don't know how many's in the case, but I only paid $14 for that case.
You really do have a problem.
This is the first time I've ever done it. I was just like, well, that looks stupid. I can get it for $10. Okay. So I got an espresso coffee machine for for $13.
And Rufio, let me know when you're back if you're not back.
Rachel, if you want to feel better about the absolute fuckery that just happened to the story that you know, Keyleth isn't supposed to die where I was.
Oh.
I had like 4 different ideas of where Rick might be taking this, and that was not one of them. I didn't expect this to begin with, and so my stupid loved Ella Loader because I kind of fell in love with Legolas first because I was a horny teenager.
I'm back.
And
I was-
Orlando
I-
Bloom is.
I was banking on that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it was hard to kind of reel myself back when he was like, "Get in," because I almost was like, "Oh yeah," but I was like, "No, that's Rachel. That's not."
All right. We do need to keep moving though, because we have 2 more to get through.
Cranking right along.
My ears.
All right. Now, let's see. All right. And now. The plane of Vestrana is defined by the clash of unbound forces. It was formed when the 8 deities of the plane repelled and imprisoned the elemental titans. These titans, bound in elemental nexuses across the various continents, embodied the chaotic elemental energies of the primal planes from which they came. As time passed and humanity grew, these nexuses were largely forgotten. That was until the elemental titan of light, Hyperion, broke free from its shackles and unleashed its fury on the southern part of the continent. No mortal force could match its power, and thus the gods deemed it necessary to risk their very existence to stop it. Their divinity manifested on the prime material plane, and at great cost, they did battle with the unbound titan. This event, later called the Sundering, took the lives of 3 deities: the god of healing Majir, the god of knowledge Gillian, and the goddess of hatred Takesis. While the remaining gods managed to recontain the Titan, it came at great cost. For the next 600 years, they lacked the strength to empower their clerics, and divine magic ceased to exist. The first post-Sundering spark of divine magic appeared in the form of a single cleric from Ishgard named Mina. She heralded the creation of a new deity, titled Tamex, the one true god. Her claim was that Tamex was the only real god, and all other gods were merely pretenders. This new god was able to empower her faith with divine magic, and Ishgard began a crusade against other nations in an attempt to bring them under its subjugation. The army of Ishgard marched west towards the country of Raxen. On the fields west of Wolfsburg, they clashed. As Mina waded through the battlefield, she was waylaid by a lone warrior who still held faith in the gods of old. Legends say that as they clashed and the warrior fought, one of his tattoos began to emit a blinding bright light. As the light grew brighter, the warrior's strikes grew swifter. The light and energy intensified, and the clang of steel and spell echoed across the battlefield. As they locked in their final clash, the two opposing forces detonated. The field they fought on turned to glass, and without their scion, the forces of Ishgard were repelled. Whatever power that warrior had tapped into had lasting effects on the connection between the deities of the world. Once again, clerics of the world could all hear the calls of their gods and call upon their power. Centuries later, we find ourselves in the magical... I hate all of you. You should tell me when I don't change the scene to show you all the things. That's a battlefield. And then this is the magical floating city of Doma.
I got an upgrade.
I did. Where we find a tiefling in a small stable, getting ready to prepare his creatures for the day ahead.
You want me to describe my character first?
Yes, go ahead and describe your character.
Cool. So I am Nox. I am a blue-skinned tiefling. I have these tattoos over my chest and back of the constellations in the sky through druidic ways and carny ways. They sort of sparkle and glow, but in different ways, so you can kind of tell the tattoos apart for who did them. And I have some ram horns. My eyes, included in my star likeness, have this sort of like shine in them that looks a bit star-like. And my body is a bit battered and bruised from living in nature and working with the carnival for a long time and working with these crazy animals. And as a result of that, a lot of my clothes have ripped up. So I kind of just wear this one jacket that I still have and some pants that I keep patching up for the most part.
All right. And so yeah, as you are getting ready, you can hear Brayley out front. He's sort of trying to amp up the crowd, what have you. Sort of doing a little bit of light crowd work. You have 5 or 10 minutes to prepare for before your set comes on.
All right, all right. Look, I'm tired of dealing with your shit during these shows. Uh, uh, Sky Talon. Just we've been over this. After the show, we give you a bunch of really big rats, and that's your reward for doing this. Everyone else plays along right now. You're the only one who's causing problems right now. What if we give you one before the show and then the rest after the show? Would everyone be okay? Like, then I have to give everyone else food before the show as well, and some of them they get. If you eat as many as you want before the show, you throw up on the audience. Rat. Okay, one now. Okay, and I go over and I will give him one very large rat.
All right. As you sort of fling the rat to him, um,
Oh, that's not good. Wait, is that right?
yeah.
No, I have +5 perception.
Plus, yeah, that's what it rolled.
D20 plus.
You
3
rolled a
plus 2 is-
6.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was a 9. I was just looking at the die.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as you sort of walk back into like this main let's say he's over here. That's fine. Into the main thing, you can hear sort of the crowd sort of like not exactly being raucous. You hear this like scratching from sort of over around here somewhere.
Does it sound like a claw scratching or
No, it's like a heavy
like
scratching. It's more like a it's like a dragging scratching sort of thing.
and what's hiding over here?
And so as
I'm
you walk
going
over
to
towards
walk
it,
over.
Balin and Ferric, you were separated from the rest of your party in your exit through the sewers. That poop pipe was fucking crazy. And at some point, the rest of your party and you two were split. And you find yourselves at this hatch. And like as you sort of pull it down, you can see that there looks to be like this big crate on top of it, blocking it into this basement of some building. You reek, covered in this magical filth from the Undercity.
Balin, you scared the shit out of me.
Who the hell are you two? You can't be back here. You smell worse than the animals.
So
Oh,
yeah,
we got lost, turned around a little bit. Where are we exactly?
You're at. I gave it a name, and now I can't remember the name of the carnival.
like celestial something or other.
Yeah, Celestial. You're at the Celestial Caravan Carnival in Doma. We're about to put on a show. What
we
are you
made it.
doing?
We made it, Ferric. We made it. Okay. Where's everybody else?
I
Doesn't
have
matter.
no idea.
We need to get started. Wait, what are we doing? I am. Oh, something doesn't feel right.
Oh no. You might want to step back.
You're.
Give him some space real quick. Just
What
I'll
is-
just kind of like push him back a
What is
little
he?
bit.
What's he? What? What
Is
is
that-
he?
His eyes, his head drops. His eyes go blank. And he looks up. His eyes are red. What are we doing?
We're just we're trying to find our friends, Ferric. Our friends, our good friends, happy, fun friends.
Happy, fun, destroy.
Friends, not destroy.
No, no, carnival,
don't destroy
fun.
friends.
Animals, tricks.
Yeah. Keep going. Gotta
Death.
keep happy.
Doom, delight,
Delight. Yeah, focus on the delight part.
delightful.
Sable, let me have the kittens to do some tricks.
So Sable is one of your newer beasts. You found her probably 3 or 4 weeks ago as you were traveling through the lower marshes of near Yulemoor. And you don't quite have as good of a control over her as you would like. And as you used to see her like side-eyeing the 2 people that just barged into your stable, go and make a perception check for me as well.
Sure.
Good. And you see something you've never seen of Sable before in this like slight like very minuscule crackle of electricity sort of arc between her teeth.
That doesn't seem right.
Balin and Ferric, you know, wherever you are now, you need to be careful. The breakers, the guards of this city, are known to you to be in the payroll of the Nevrand upper house. You don't know much about them, but you do know that the breakers are fierce and vicious
Balin,
and
did
dangerous.
you notice anything on that strange man over there? Was he clean?
Yes,
What do you
I
mean?
clean myself. What are you? Get out of here! Don't go that way. And
Varric, I
point
think we're
towards
the
where
ones that are clean.
carnival is.
Perhaps we should leave.
Um,
Of note,
Or-
Nox, the door to the south basically is like the backstage and leads directly onto the stage of the carnival.
That's the only door?
Yep. And you're a little underground. It's sort of like a basement stable. It's the only place they had for it. But it leads upstairs and onto the stage.
It's like an arena. The team is coming home to roost.
Look, you're gonna have to at least help with the introductions then.
I am quite the performer. Do you have a piano?
okay.
Not down here.
Is
There might,
there
there
one up
might,
there?
there might.
Or an organ?
It would be pretty far from where we come up.
Do you have like maybe a xylophone?
No, there's none down here that you can bring up with you.
Some
And
sort
you
of
all hear
animal
from
and percussion?
outside.
Mostly
Oh,
animals and boxes
no!
of dead rats.
Our
God.
magical creature menagerie presented by our best animal handler in the 7 countries, Nux Vespera.
He mispronounced ferric.
Look, the lights will go down. When the lights go down, you guys can run out. No one should see you.
It's an
So
outdoor
you
carnival.
don't have like a
God damn
bongo
it.
It's daytime.
or
It's a
anything?
daytime
God damn
outdoor
it.
carnival.
With an underground animal storage pit.
Yup.
Yes, this is exactly where I would hope to have
Elma's
a bongo.
insane.
Or, yes,
Okay, just tell
bongos
us,
should be on every corner.
Oh my god.
tell us what to do. We'll get through this. All right.
Do I don't have any spells that will help with this.
I can be
Guys,
charismatic.
Especially not that I would have prepared.
Guys, she is so adorable.
Okay,
Do we need to set
Look,
anything on fire? can
I
do
know.
that.
Look, we'll come out. We'll come out and come out. We'll pretend that you two are getting attacked by Skull by
pretend.
Sky Talon. And, yeah, just pretend. Don't worry. I got these totally under control. Sable's a little sweetie. She looks tough. She's fine. And you know, I already talked it out with Mr. Devo over there about how the show's gonna go.
Ferric's thunder cannon flips up over his shoulder, and then he swicks his wrist, and a little bit of flames shoot out, and he's like, "Yes, I'm prepared. Let's go."
That'll be fine. Do some fire as we're coming out. Do
Yes.
you play music somehow from your body?
I
Do you
am
have a
your
speaker?
hype man. Hype
Alright.
man.
Okay, and you, sir, maybe announce me again. We're going out.
All right. All right.
I just
Alright,
wanted
so
a bongo.
As you all move out into the
Oh,
open
no.
air on stage, you can
Oh, the
see
children look terrified.
a wide open pavilion. There are scattered around people, but it doesn't look like it's like the biggest hit of a show. And Brayley sort of turns around and like gives you like a really confused like, who the fuck are they? Look.
I was gonna start
Nox
clapping.
Vespera and
The
The
his
Ferris holes.
the Ferris holes. And he sort of like
Not a good
walks,
name.
like
Who names you guys?
and like shakes his head as he exits the stage.
Ferric starts like one hand, wrist shooting fire into the air, the other hand, shotgun out, firing lava shots into the air, which turn in
No, don't do that. Don't do
lava.
that.
We're gonna look at the kids and be like,
The lava motes explode like miniature.
One of the kids like runs back to her parent, shouting, "Mommy, look at the robot man! Look at the robot man with the fire!"
We are the Ferris holes.
You're gonna get me
We are
murdered.
the Ferris.
These are fancy people. What are you doing?
Are you? Oh wait, you're ready for the finale? You said.
Just run. No one cares if you just leave now. They'd love it.
I'm gonna start kind of like dancing off the stage and get Ferric's attention to like follow my lead. So
Sure.
we're just
So
gonna do
as
this
you,
little dance
which way are
number.
you going? Which way are you going?
Over here is fine. Stage left.
Oh my god.
So
she
as
found
you
the perfect
do,
spot.
as you all move stage left, you sort of like turn, and as you do, you see that the Griffin has followed Knox out as part of his act, and is like, and he's like screeching at you.
Let's try the other way. So turn around and start walking the other direction. Come on, Ferric. Try to move him quickly.
Please don't get too close to anybody.
We're trying.
And you see the kids are yelling, "Get a trick! Get a trick! Eat the robot man! Eat the robot man!"
I'm trying to walk away, but I don't think Ferric's following me.
What do they want me to do to the robot man?
They said, "Eat the robot man."
Okay.
Ah, yes, eat the robot man. Everybody wants to eat the robot man.
Don't hurt anybody, Ferric.
Yeah, I'm gonna just at the moment, just tell the Griffin to fly up into the sky and try and do like a little distraction at least for them. Do some loop-de-loops and flips.
Sure, it flies in the sky. It like dive bombs Balin for a moment, and sort of like blocks your path. Balin, as you walk towards that edge, you do see there is a breaker that is sort of caught the attention of
Is that guy?
yeah.
Aha! Will our brave adventurers make it off stage? Don't worry, kids. We've got this under control.
Ferric goes to like try and sidestep the beast, and he sprays oil all over himself. Gets nice and slick to be all nice and stealthy.
Yeah, the Griffin knows you're there and is sort of like corralling you in like a hunter, because that's what Griffins do.
Yep.
Balin's gonna just try to push his way
Guys.
past the Griffin.
Guys.
As you do, Balin, Knox, you hear from inside the stable this loud crashing with this like sound.
I would go look in the stable.
As you do, you are actually knocked over as
Oh, no.
Sable bursts through past you. And you can see that this displacer beast, normally, very shadowy and like shifty, this one seems to be imbued by some sort of like electrical energy. And as it bursts past you, it has eyes on one creature only. Ferric. Ferric, the beast tackles you, knocking you
not
off the stage.
I shoot my laser cannon or my thunder cannon and scream, "You shall not pass!"
As you do,
So just a
Balin,
beam of light and thunder and lightning into the sky.
Balin, as you sort of rush to Ferric's side, both you and Nox see kind of surrounding the stage all of these breakers, these guards, reach to their chest, and you hear as they break their tethering vials, and the mages high in the Blackwood Tower transfer their consciousness into these.
Oh, this is not
Oh, no, 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 no.
as they move
What are
towards
the?
you.
What are you? You guys seem very worried. What is that guy?
Oh,
It's we need to leave.
yes. We need to run.
Ferric, you
There's
are
very-
being mauled by this displacer
Ferric,
beast.
Ferric,
Yeah,
get up
I
and
just
run.
imagine it's a very
I'm gonna try and
Deadpool look to the right,
and,
him going, yes, we need to run.
I'm gonna try and control Sable at all.
Make an animal handling check.
For sure.
I'm ready to shove it off, Ferric.
Ferric is reaching for the rations in his pocket that have been in there since the beginning of the journey 5 years ago or whatever.
It must want my food.
It's so
I'm gonna try
obviously
to,
after breakfast.
Throw a shoulder into it and shove it off Ferric so we can run.
All right.
I, I should be able to wiggle away. I'm covered in oil.
He is
Sure. So
Premeditated.
as between Nox and Ferric, you're able to get some relief from the displacer beast, who pounces back, stalking and circling you. But Ferric, as you stand up, you look. The crowd running in fear, leaving
at least the kids
behind
are leaving.
the breakers as they close in, their eyes set on a target that they knew and were looking for.
Jesus Christ, I hope some magical shit happens soon.
Would you like to have different last words, Ferric?
Nope.
As once in turn, a green beam of energy lances out from each of them, impacting Ferric one after another. His body starts to burn away, leaving only this bright, glowing core, unperturbed by the disintegration magic, but now unstable. Nox,
Yeah.
the last thing you see is this blinding flash of light as Ferric's body detonates.
Oh no.
Oh no, indeed, Jesus. That whole fucking stone in my chest.
Goodbye, Nova.
Tablet. Hey, that means Ferret gets what he wanted, though.
You finally became a bomb.
I
he
finally
took out
finally
Nova.
destroyed that city out of the sky.
I'm gonna nuke that city in the sky.
All right. And now,
Could I get some slightly creepier music?
bitch, I'm working on it. And it's not creepy, the track I picked for this. But it's fitting. The plane of Barovia exists as a small demiplane within the domain of dread. It's a small, oppressive plane filled with the perpetual mists and gloomy skies. The dead do not remain so for long, and heroes are few and far between. The exception is those unfortunate souls who find themselves pulled into this plane by its nefarious magic. However, one cannot speak of the plane of Barovia without mentioning one name: Strahd. Strahd is the Dark Lord of Castle Ravenloft, the being that holds this plane together. A vampire of immense power, Strahd rules over his domain with fear and malice. The people of Barovia live in a constant state of oppression. The curse that infuses these lands not only blights the earth, but also corrupts the hearts and souls of those who dwell there. The eerie mists that surround the plain serve as its guardians, turning back, or worse, any who dare to venture inside. The most recent interlopers to find their way into this plane have traveled throughout Barovia, gathering strength, knowledge, and allies. After narrowly escaping the Hag Lagasa, the White Hair Gang now moves towards their final goal, Castle Ravenloft and the end of Strahd. As the group passes the threshold into Castle Ravenloft, the door slams and seals, and the Dusk Elven woman feels the weight of the struggle to come. Zygrim, you've traveled throughout this land with the White Hair Gang. But after being trapped by the hag Baba Lagasa, you found an unlikely ally, the Dusk Elven woman Ashlana, who helped free you from the hag and now stands with you in the very halls of Castle Ravenloft as you begin your final assault to defeat Strahd, the Dreadlord.
Well, you're not my friend I came here with. It is great to have you by my side.
To you as well.
I'm not sure if we are completely ready for this, but we do not really have a choice.
I'm going to chalk this up to third time's a charm. We should move.
True. We should consider all that weighs on us in this moment. Let it wash over us and give us a sense of our depth and importance. Really take it all in.
You can be as stealthy as you'd like in this situation, but I assure you Strahd knows exactly where we are at all moments in his castle.
Then, never mind all that. We will simply try to murder him as hard as we can.
Yes, pay special attention to the walls.
So as
You
you
never know
move
where
in,
he'll be.
as you move into the main chambers, Ashlana, can we go and get a description of your character, please?
Yes, you see a medium height, dusk elven woman. She has pale lavender skin and an aged silvery purple to her hair. Her hood drawn deep over her face. Her armor is cobalt in color. Leather. Sparse but properly placed. You see several curved daggers at her side, and what you could only assume is many more hidden in other places. She stands with a simple-looking short sword out ahead of her, ready to strike.
And as you and your group move into this central chamber, Ashlana,
Yes.
What's your deal? It's a weapon.
you notice sort of in the center here, in the center of this crest on the floor, a slight indentation, like almost a crack.
This stone has been moved. Often.
Not often, but
Often enough.
the
Here.
mortar here looks different, very slightly.
Here, somebody, give me a hand. Does anybody have a shovel or a small pick?
Tries to
And,
kind of wedge her dagger underneath.
And so as you sort of like scrape your dagger, and you're able to like pry into this mortar, one of the central tiles comes free. And you can see inside is a small glyphed box, about 12 or 13 inches in length.
Oh my. She takes it out.
You pull up and you see, and sort of written along the side in Elven is an ancient saying, of sorts. To kill the devil, one needs a weapon.
Kill the devil. One needs a weapon. You said it's a like it's a box, I guess.
Yeah.
Lockbox. So is it like possible to
Yeah.
open it?
Yeah. As you sort of slide it out, you see inside is a dagger. The sheath is this like tanned, almost skin, like mummified skin color. The hilt, this black, red, gold filigree. Overall, very plain, but a aesthetic that you are familiar with.
This can't possibly be. This is Leo de Lysinus. No. She takes it out, she inspects it, kind of takes a couple of swipes with it. A couple of like shiv actions.
It's well balanced and it feels right in your hand.
She licks the blade on the side.
It's very sharp.
It tastes like revenge. We should move. Quickly. She darts off.
All right. So yeah, you move forward into the next hallway. The darkness sort of pressing down a bit on you a bit. Door closing behind you of its own accord.
Move forward, I guess.
Okay.
We're just gonna
Yeah.
go. You can tell that Echelon is not being aloof per se, but she's not trying to be overly stealthy because she really does know. Yeah, there's almost no point.
Yeah. If you've made it into Castle Ravenloft, it is a safe assumption that the lord of the castle knows that you're there. And with that, you all enter into the throne room of Lord Strahd. At his side is an armored individual, one that you all know, a former ally, Cryas Wolfheart, a paladin who you thought lost in your escape from the hag, but now seemingly at the side of Strahd. And as you enter into Strahd's sanctum, he smiles widely. What is this but the miserable last effort of fools? You've crossed my realm, plundered my treasure, and now you stand before me. A pitiful last effort at your salvation. The light does not fall here, and neither shall I.
Well, it's a good
I
thing.
am talking! As he says that, his hand comes down, and you feel this oppressive force holding your tongue and body
No.
still. Because in Strahd's house, Strahd will talk. My dominion has held for centuries, and I have felt countless would-be heroes, each now a footnote in the annals of Strahd. You actually believe that you can fight against the darkness here? How quaint. I wonder, though, was it courage that drove you here? Or was it fear? Fear that I am right, that this land belongs to me, and that all your struggles have been in vain. I do commend your resilience, even as the most righteous member of your party sees the inevitability that is my power. He stands at my side and follows my commands. Once a paragon of light, now stands as the servant of night. You are not the first to challenge me, and you will not be the last. Come then! Face me if you dare, but know this. You cannot defeat darkness. And as he ends, you feel that oppressiveness lift. Cyrus in front of you draws his massive sword at the ready.
Ashlana is just going to take a deep breath and go,
Roll a dexterity check.
okay.
Damn it.
Damn it!
Yes! As you move, Cyrus is quicker. And with one fell sweeping arc of his blade, Tessara is cleaved in two, her dead body falling over the pews backwards. Or her dead body, sorry.
Zygarde, get his necklace away from him! And she throws a dagger at Cyrus and lunges towards Strahd.
Sure. Cyrus sort of like deflects it and brings his sword to bear at Amon. Zygram, what are you doing?
I guess I'm gonna do what Ashlana told me to do and try and get the necklace off of Cyrus. I do have advantage at the moment, and I'm a rogue, so I could just attack the fuck out of him, though.
Yeah, I
So
don't care.
I'm probably gonna do that.
You do
Yeah,
what
sure,
you
I'm
want.
gonna I'm gonna poison my blades and attack him because that's what this character does.
Yeah, you lock blades in this
Yeah.
duel. His blows coming hard, bearing down on you. And Ashlana,
Yes.
you square off against the demon Strahd. He holds his arms open expectantly. What weapon does Strahd use? Does he use a
His
longsword?
body.
Okay.
His body. No, he uses a
long-
broadsword.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, so same
Knew it
difference.
was a sword.
Yeah,
Holding
it
his
was
arms open expectantly.
You expect me to come to you after killing my sister and my family,
I expect you to,
sterilizing my race.
I only expect you to die.
She, with one hand behind her back with the dagger, the other hand in front of her, she just kind of lowers her head in front of him. She's got like the Balverzi dagger in her hand.
With a flash, Strahd moves.
With
His
a flash,
arms
she moves.
pulling down to his sword, striking across. As he does, Ashlana, you see something strange. You see this out of place wisp of green emanate from yourself. A strange energy that is not of Barovia. And as you clash blades with Lord Strahd, his fangs bared, snarling, he reposts and comes in for another. Roll a d20.
Ooh. Boop. Boop. Yay!
Striking down, you feel the bite of the blade through your armor. Not hitting anything vital, but causing pain.
I did
Your
not come
blood.
here out of fear. I came here out of rage.
You came here to be my toy. As he slashes again, cutting through your side. Again, not cutting anything vital. Just causing pain. Roll another d20. Again and again, Strahd strikes. Again and again. You feel the bite of his blade. You feel your rage building. Your strikes catch cloak, catch tunic, but each one not striking true. Roll one more time.
Fuck!
Ah!
Really setting the precedence here,
That
Uh-oh.
rules.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ashlana.
It's awesome. You're gonna die in your backstory.
Huh?
The character ever died in session 0?
That would be hilarious.
Yes.
Don't tempt me.
Hey, I've put a lot of effort into this character so far. Come on.
Well, it doesn't show.
What?
You rolled in your rolls.
Oh, my rolls. Yeah. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Again and again, your blade doesn't find purchase.
You are a monster, and you deserve nothing more than death.
Death is my domain. I control death. As you're kneeling on the ground, you have one shot.
Your control died with your brother and Tatiana.
One shot, one opportunity. As he brings his sword down, a swift motion. You deflect and jam the Balverzi dagger straight through his heart. As you do, what erupts is not blood or darkness, but this blue ephemeral energy. Almost oddly saturated within the pale darkness of Castle Ravenloft. And you see the magics of this dagger, one of the few artifacts able to put a final end to Strahd's legacy, take hold. Dahlia, as the blade pierces the voice, the assassins fade back into shadow, dispersing into nothingness. The three of you run to her fallen body. No. I think I think I have something. It might work. I've never had to do this.
No, this can't be happening. This can't be happening.
Here, hold her up, hold her up. And you sort of come back behind her, holding her shoulders, holding her body. Her like head sort of listlessly off to the side. Orem pulls from his necklace a pendant and reaches into a pouch with a diamond. He pauses, saying a quick prayer. Presses the pendant onto her chest. And this bright light emanates from underneath through his fingers. The diamond for his revivify. Over top, shatters into this dust, spreading out over her body. But as it comes down, about to contact, that brilliant, sparkling diamond turns to ash.
No. Why isn't it working?
I don't know. And he sort of like reaches down to the wound and pulls up this black, poisonous ichor that emanated from the blade.
That should have worked, right?
It should have worked. And as you look, you see from where he pulls up that black ichor, this green energy sort of like emanating off of it, swirling around it, swirling around you. And as he sort of like turns, you see that he slows. His movements slow. You look to Will, and as he's reaching out, you see that his movements slow, and then stop. You see the leaves in the air, in the trees around you, that were bustling in the wind, calm and stop. As time itself slows to a crawl.
What the actual fuck is going on?
This green energy swirling around you, something you've never seen before. And suddenly you hear the sound of fate. As appearing on the cliff edge, this towering monstrosity machination. One singular eye that peers down, its vision solely on you.
I instinctively try to cover Keyleth, the Tempest.
Whatever happened here, this entity comes to collect. And as its eye peers down at you, you feel this like unraveling of your essence, like your soul and being is being erased. But hope is not lost, because you see sort of appearing before you in this flash of black energy, a tear in space. Walking out is this human figure clad in obsidian black armor, a large sword held in his hand. He looks to the creature and then to you. He sort of cocks his head a bit, seeing that you're not frozen like the rest. With a flash, he swings his sword, and this black and purple beam of energy passes through you and behind you, opening up a rift in space, pulling you into darkness. Hendrik, as the necromancer Liliana burns to ash, you see this green energy, this green ephemeral essence floating out, encircling you. You walk over, reach down, and you see this chainmail coif. Unsure, you pick it up. Some artifact empowering the necromancer. As the Dread Horde, now without its leader, becomes ravenous, turning and closing on you and Gideon, time slows. The Dread Horde slows, coming to a halt. You hear the sound of fate. And appearing before you is this monstrous mechanical aberration, a singular eye peering down to you. You feel yourself begin unraveling as whatever this creature is doing will be the end of you. But you see this black and purple gateway open, an obsidian-clad figure striding out, sword drawn, seeing you, clutching the chain veil in your hand, moving away from this creature. With a slash, black and purple energy opens a rift behind you, and you're pulled into nothingness. Imris, as you reach down to pick up the one ring of power, as you reach from the pedestal, the glowing, burning weight of the world in your hands, the people around you slow and stop, frozen in time. And you hear the sound of fate as an enormous monstrosity with a singular eye, one that is a far too familiar visage looking down upon you, begins burning away your timeline, burning you into oblivion, erasing you from existence. But a black and purple rift in space opens. An obsidian-clad figure exits. And you too are pulled into oblivion. We're gonna do this 2 more times, guys. Nox. As the blinding white flash detonates, it freezes. You see in front of you the frozen moment of extinction. And in the center, this twisted metal glowing crest where Ferric's heart once was. As you reach for it, this green and blue energy swirls around you, sort of siphoned off from this fracture in time. And you hear the sound of destiny as this enormous monstrosity peers down at you, its singular eye burning away your essence. Once again, an obsidian-clad figure appears, shunting you into oblivion. And Ashlana, dagger burning with Strahd's blood. As he falls, he never hits the floor, hung and suspended in time. You hear the sound of oblivion, the sound of fate, as monstrous creature appears before you, towering inside Strahd's throne room, looking down at you, burning away who you are and what you've done. A black obsidian-clad knight walking through reality sees you. Sees this green and blue energy that has swirled around you at this point. And you too are pulled into oblivion. And the five of you find yourselves suddenly back in the light, pulled from oblivion. You find yourselves in this carved stone room, the black portals closing behind each of you. Surrounding you is
My screen's still black.
four
Listen,
strangers.
Do a directed ping, Ricky, to get everyone there.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
it's
It's
Gotcha.
just really, small.
Okay.
There
Perfect.
you go.
around you stand four strangers. People unknown to you. Strange blue and green energies surround each of you. Dahlia, clutched in your hands, a autumn-colored cloak of reds and greens and yellows. Pendrick, a chainmail coif. Nox, a twisted metal crest. Emrys, a gold ring. And Ashlana, a red and gold hilted dagger.
Well, at least you guys don't stink like shit.
Who the fuck are you? Where the fuck am I?
There's been a lot of that today. Hi, I'm Nox. I'm from not here. I suspect that's the same for the rest of you.
Indeed.
You would say that?
Dahlia of the Arishari. Not from here either.
What's an
Where is here?
Arishari?
They work with elements.
Oh,
Air, to be specific. It's a draconic tribe.
I'm not familiar with you. We must have not traveled to your parts.
I'm gonna look around.
Sorry. I travel with a carnival. Been to places all over the great continent of Vestrana. You've probably heard of us. We're kind of cutting edge with what we do.
Vathwada?
Vestrana? Is there more land here than I thought?
I've never heard of that.
Wow, this must be a much larger. I thought we, sailed the whole thing, but I guess not.
Vestrana, I remember a mage talking about that one time. She says as she's like inspecting a wall.
Should I describe myself real quick?
Yes, please. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Um, Dahlia of the Arashari is a half orc. Her skin is a kind of like wasabi green, but a little duller. Um, she got fiery red hair. When she gets really, really mad, especially when she's fighting, it looks like it's on fire. And crisscrossing across her nice biceps, from what you can see, is lines of yellow and orange that look gold in certain lightings and always look like it's moving like magma. She got red eyes, and you don't really see them you only really see them when she's talking, but she has small tusks and that are normally hidden if she's just got her mouth closed. And she got a battle axe.
All right, thank you. And yeah, and the place you find yourselves in is you feel this like faint sense of movement. The air here feels different, and it seems like the stonework is. It looks like it's new, but like newly constructed, but of old material, if that makes sense.
Was something really crazy happening to all of you guys before you got here too?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
And then you saw a guy wearing black armor come in a big robot with a giant eye and little wings on its shoulders.
Yeah.
Okay.
I say we've all experienced
I
the
don't know
same
what
thing.
that means. I don't know. I know it means something, but I don't know what it is.
It sounds like more straw devilry to me, but
What's a
also,
straw?
the Dark Lord, of course.
Dark Lord.
Well,
Interesting.
I suppose
Horace is gonna look
it's
over when he says the Dark Lord, and it's just he's looking in like shock to everybody because all of y'all would be like a culture shock to him because like craziness. So he's just gonna look and he's gonna be like, "What? You also have a Dark Lord?"
yes. And where I'm from, Barovia, it's very. Well, it smells different than here. Huh.
Everywhere I go tends to smell a bit different.
Does anybody feel odd? Like they're missing something? The constant pressure and darkness on the body and mind? Is that normal?
Is that
What do you mean?
having that normal where you come from?
Well, yes. It's Barovia after all.
So you feel better now. So it's a good iRobot?
Look, I believe it's more along the
It was
lines of
my-
I feel a way that I've never felt before in my life. And I guess it's nice. Oh, my name is Ashlana Velikovna, by the way. You'd do well to remember it.
Kind of a weird foot to put out there first, but I like the confidence. Nox Vespera, as I said. This is Dahlia, as she introduced herself. Who would you be, sir? As I gesture towards the blue bald man.
I am Pendrick Vost. It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance. I too am very lost and have absolutely no idea what happened.
Should we I mean, of course, you should also introduce yourself. But after you do that, as I gesture to Emerus, but should we just look through that door over there, maybe?
Um, I'm sorry, but are you like standard issue where you're from?
Who are you talking to?
Yeah, point to me, point to everyone around the room.
She's
Yeah,
actually kind of
say all
motions
of
to
us
like.
are.
She kind of motions to everyone.
Uh,
I've just never seen folks as yourselves before.
no,
Well,
tiefling are pretty rare, actually.
well, actually, I've seen a couple of your kind, but they're dead now.
Is that a threat?
I'm
No, just simply a recollection
we're gonna
of
run.
history.
I feel like we're gonna run into a lot of that with you.
I'm unique in two ways, so uh, I don't know how to answer that question. I
Well,
got two things going on. I'm proud of both of them, but a lot of people look down on it, and they look down on the one, they look down on the other. The fact that I have both, they just that's why I stick to my tribe.
well, it looks like you have. It looks like you have two beautiful things, whatever they are.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, I'm Emrys Woodheart. I'm definitely not from here because I have no idea what's going on or who might be. I was just wanting to take some notes. Everything got very out of hand very quickly.
Talk closer to your mic, please.
Yes,
Sorry.
please.
Yeah.
Deep
Can you
throat
hear me a
that
little bit better?
bitch.
Yeah, that's good.
Take what exactly are you taking notes on?
Supposed to be a council, and the prince of my land knocked himself a little silly.
Yeah.
So I was just going to take notes for him. And then everybody thought that it would be a good idea for me to go on this journey. I don't think I'm the right person. But I don't think that matters right now because I'm obviously not there. I don't know where I
But-
am, though.
So you were in the middle of something very important.
Yes.
Was everybody here in the middle of something of great consequence?
I mean, in a way, I was not. I would say actively participating in something important, but something important happened where I was participating.
I was plunging my dagger into the target of my whole family and organization for the past 400 years. It was lovely. And now I'm here.
I was trying, and Dahlia's just still staring at the mantle that she's holding in her hands, which just to you guys looks like a bunch of leaves. I was trying to save my Tempest.
A
I don't-
robot man exploded in front of me. Sorry, you continue first. I thought we were just all gonna quick fire him off.
No, it's fine.
Hi, my name is Earl. My dad used to poop with the door open.
Pendrick will look down at the chain veil in his hand, and he'll kind of hold it a little tighter and look up and say, "I believe fate has intervened in all of our lives today. Something important was happening with all of us, and something didn't seem to go right. I'm not sure what that means yet, but I'm certain it has something to do with fate."
I suppose fate must have decided we were much more needed somewhere else. But does that also mean fate will send us back?
Maybe we weren't supposed to be where we were.
Perhaps.
Oh, I think I was supposed to be where I was, quite honestly.
Embry, I'm
In
just
that
gonna
moment
say
in
I don't
time?
know you at all, but based on what you told us and how you're acting, I don't think you were supposed to be where you were at that moment in time.
Big
I
plans
don't
for my life,
either.
my friend.
Also, your
Maybe
prince doesn't
that's
sound like a
technically.
very good ruler if he knocked himself silly. What
Listen,
happened?
I played a great song, right? I was jamming, he was jamming, he was wet from the bath, don't ask.
Oh, so
And
you're a player.
yes, I'm
You
a bard.
were you were bathing your prince?
He was bathing? It sounds suspicious. I feel like I'm getting put into a corner that I don't belong in. I'm just saying that I would like to go home eventually.
You sound like a bard I've heard tales of.
My
Is
dear,
that
do you enjoy your life
my
and your
life?
choices and the things
Most
that
of
you
them?
do?
Yes.
Then you do that.
Okay.
It makes you happy. Don't listen to her.
I'm not
Yeah, you
putting
take
her
that gold
down.
ring the prince gave you or whatever's going on and you do what makes you happy.
Wait, do you have the ring?
He's gonna look down at it and he's gonna kind of get like grossed out. He's gonna be like, ugh.
Oh, you should. No, none of us. You should definitely keep that. Hold on to that. It does not feel right. And for
Yeah,
me
if
to
people
say
said
that from
you
where
should
I came
carry it,
from,
you're
that
the one to wear that burden.
yes.
You wear that burden.
Mm-mm. Remember
Portable.
that feeling I said that I didn't know wasn't normal? I get that feeling when I see that ring.
What do you
Should
think
we
of
get
this thing?
the fuck out of this room?
I'm
I
actually
would
quite
like
we should get out of
cozy in
here.
here.
We
Yeah,
should gather more
so-
information at least.
I
As
don't
you
like
all
being
move
small space.
to the door that leads out, you open it up, and as you do, you see a well-dressed gentleman that is sort of moving like hurriedly towards you. Yes. I am sure that you all have many, many questions, and answers will be forthright. But for now, I would like to welcome you to the Astral Accord. As he sort of sweeps his hands out, we will end our session for tonight.
Wow.
A bone to pick with you.
Thank you
Ooh.
so much for playing with me tonight. I know that it was not what any of you expected.
Nope.
And I am so very thankful that you all let me DM for you.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna have to improvise a whole circus act.
Is this a
Really back
suicide
myself into
letter?
a corner there.
My bone to pick with you is not going to be the bone that you're expecting me to pick.
That's not the kind of bone you want to pick.
Don't go
What?
there.
By the way, Dahlia, yours was the very, very, very first story that I wrote.
Oh.
So you've known for a while, and when I messaged you the other night about, is it before or after Keyleth dies?
Yeah, no, I
Hmm.
just lied to you. Or no, she doesn't die. She gets attacked. She doesn't die.